Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and in tonight's Christmas movie review, I'm going to be reviewing this really old black and white film released in 1945, and I also watched this movie for Christmas on the first day of December last year, and this review is on Christmas in Connecticut. Christmas in Connecticut was released in 1945, and it's about a food writer who has lied about being the perfect housewife and who must try to cover her deception when her boss and a returning war hero invites themselves to her, like basically to her, like, to celebrate her Christmas and all that. But here's how it really goes. While recovering in a hospital, war hero Jefferson Jones grows familiar with the Diary of a Housewife column written by Elizabeth Lane, Jeff's nurse, who arranges with Elizabeth's publisher Alexander Yardley for Jeff to spend the holiday at Elizabeth's, like, home in Connecticut, pretty much, yeah, Connecticut farm with her husband and child. But the column is a sham, so Yardley Hastings to arrange a public ploy to setting up single Elizabeth on a country farm. And yeah, that's pretty much how the movie's about, what the movie's about. So yeah. So like I said, I actually watched this movie like last year on the first day of December last year in 2023, and I gotta say, I actually really love this movie. I actually think this is actually like one of the best Christmas movies I've ever watched. Yeah. And is it better than It's a Wonderful Life? Well, that's kind of hard to say, because I do love both movies. Because we do get how It's a Wonderful Life is like one of the best Christmas classics of all time. But I gotta say, I think, while at the same time, I gotta say Christmas in Connecticut, I think, deserves better. Because, well, yeah, some people may think It's a Wonderful Life is overrated. Well, I don't think it's that I mean, I don't really think it's overrated. I still love It's a Wonderful Life. And for, like, a black and white Christmas movie, for, like, an old-fashioned vintage film. But I gotta say, Christmas in Connecticut, I can say is better. Yeah, because I gotta say, I think I enjoy Christmas in Connecticut a lot more. Even though I do have one flaw with Christmas in Connecticut, even though, yeah, but the best way I can say about both movies, I love both of them. Let's just say that. But anyway, I think my only flaw I do have with Christmas in Connecticut is that sometimes I think when it comes to like well written characters, like, some of the characters like here aren't really that memorable in terms of in terms of like main characters and all that. And they weren't really like well written enough, but whatever. But aside from that, Christmas in Connecticut, I really loved it. I loved almost everything about it, and the rest of the movie is just like well made. And I do like how this really old movie, and because this is an old movie shot in black and white, I gotta say the cinematography and the filming I thought was very neat for a black and white film released in the 40s, like way back in 1945, back when movies were filmed in black and white. And I gotta say, the performances, I gotta say that the people, the actors who played their characters in this film, which I'm not really familiar with any of the actors who are in this film, but I gotta say the performances were really good too. I gotta say the acting performances were well done. And I gotta say the color commentary, I think I gotta say well, not really color commentary, because I wouldn't really say that, but I would say the commentary throughout most of the movie, I think, is actually well written, and I gotta say the screenplay was actually well written too. And I think the screenwriters do a good job writing this film, and and I gotta say I really enjoyed almost everything about it, despite some of the characters not really well written enough. But yeah, and of course, this movie even got really good reviews. Even from retrospective, this movie even got really good reviews too. Like, it's like at 89%, and that's a good score, like 89%. Even though we don't really talk about Rotten Tomatoes all that much anymore, but I gotta say, the old-fashioned music, I think the Christmas music that was kind of featured in this movie, even though it is like vintage music, I gotta say, it does hold up from its time. Like, and by that I mean it does age well throughout its throughout its time from retrospective. But what's also kind of odd about the release date for Christmas in Connecticut is that what's kind of odd about it is that this is a Christmas movie actually released in August, like August 11th of 1945. Yeah, which is kind of weird for a Christmas movie to come out during like the end of summer. Yeah, even though there is a term called Christmas in July, but it was actually released in August of 1945. Yeah, and people think and people are gonna think that's a really weird time to release a Christmas movie around during the summer, but I know that's just silly. But aside from that, Christmas in Connecticut, I gotta say, is very like maybe some people have never even heard about this movie, even though maybe a handful of people may have seen it and rarely talk about this film. But maybe there are some times where I feel like this movie, if it feels like so underrated that hardly anyone has ever heard of it and talked about it. But I'm sure some people out there in the past probably knew about this film. Yeah, but but overall, Christmas in Connecticut was an awesome Christmas movie released in 1945, and also like what and also one of the best Christmas movies I've seen. And I'm gonna give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't watched this film, then and if you're in for a good black and white Christmas movie, then I say this is a good one to check out for the holidays. And there you have it, guys. That's my review on Christmas in Connecticut from 1945. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.